Come on in, sit back and relax and enjoy this episode of the WealthTech Today podcast. I'm your host, Craig Iskowitz, the founder and CEO of Ezra Group Consulting. Our clients are in fintech firms and enterprise wealth management, and we help them make better business and technology decisions. Check us out at EzraGroupLLC.com. This podcast features interviews, news, and analysis on the trends and best practices in the wealth management technology space. And this is our main news roundup. We've got a host of interesting stories for you, 5 to be precise. To go a quick overview of them, InvestNet acquires Harvest Savings and Wealth. Science launches Advisor Transitions Tool. Snappy Kraken raises $6 million. Luma Financial partners with CanX to offer annuity data tool. Wealthfront self-driving money launch, and Ethic raises $29 million. That's going to be the roundup. But before I forget, a couple housekeeping tasks. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss future episodes. A quick shout out to our new sponsor, the Sebastian Strong Foundation at sebastianstrong.org. And here we go with the news roundup. First story of this month's news roundup is InvestNet acquires Harvest Savings and Wealth Technologies. This was a really interesting announcement to me because I know both firms really well. A lot of the news articles that I read were focusing on one of two aspects of Harvest Wealth, and one is their ability to do small accounts, micro savings accounts. So things like an Acorns type of service where they can do roundups, micro savings. And that seemed to be a lot of the articles were focusing on that, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about another aspect of Harvest Wealth's software, which is new account opening and specifically around bank trusts. Now, InvestNet has a good track record in the bank trust space. They've won a fair number of deals over the years in that area over other companies. So they've got some solid credentials in the bank trust space, but they are always looking for more ways to sell more products and solutions to the bank trust and dig in more, get more wallet share from these firms. So the new account opening process that Harvest Wealth has, I think, is interesting because it's plugged into a lot of bank trust systems already. And from my conversations over the years with CEO Drew Sievers, Harvest entered into a partnership with FIS, which also purchased Drew's previous firm called M Foundry. So he has a good relationship with them. And I believe they spent significant resources to build out integrations from Harvest's account onboarding and digital advice tools into FIS in the former SunGard and their trust accounting systems, which is not a trivial task. There's a lot of work involved in opening trust accounts. It's much more difficult than an RIA or opening a brokerage or an agency account. So having done all that work and plugged into one of the biggest vendors at FIS saves a lot of effort on the part of InvestNet having to build out all that technology in the back end. So, many banks have trouble that we're seeing connecting with wealth to the trust side of their business, because they usually run them totally separately. They're discrete platforms, they're different portfolio accounting systems. The trust accounting systems are much more expensive to maintain on a per account basis, but banks are forced to open agency accounts inside the trust accounting system, which drives up their costs because they want to keep everything in one place. And there's no good way to see accounts spread out across different systems. So with this new account opening process that Harvest can plug in and they can bolt on top of the trust system, it might make it easier for InvestNet to dig in a little deeper onto the trust side and provide more value there. So new account opening is an interesting area. It was very rare to find firms that did fully electronic new account opening, just 5 years ago. Now everyone's got it. The leaders in the space would be DocuPace. They're also a leader in the document management and workflow systems. So DocuPace, very well known for their technology in new account opening and document management. IFS, which is more on the big end, more on the broker-dealer enterprise end. They're owned by iPipeline now. Appian, which came into the market more from the bank space and built out a wealth business. And they've closed some deals, TIA, Edward Jones, LPL. So they've been making waves in the wealth on the wealth side, but they're huge. They're better known for large banks, but that's also a competitor. And you want to control more of the advisor's workflow. So if investment's just in the back end and Appian is opening accounts, that's one less piece of the puzzle that investment owns. So if they can deploy Harvest to do the same thing, that gives them more of the wallet share of banks. So the top 250 banks, from what we're seeing, they want a single solution for everything: mobile, lending, wealth management. And it seems like the technology from Harvest can do this. It can facilitate it. From what I've seen, it's API-based mobile tools that can run digital advice and services inside of the bank's mobile apps. That's something I believe is lacking on the InvestNet platform. They don't have tools that can plug into the bank's mobile apps. And we already know banks have a huge lead when it comes to mobile over the wealth side. The top 10 apps in the app store, it's banking is a lot of them. So if you can plug into that existing app, the existing mobile app that banks have, and offer wealth, it saves a lot of effort. It lowers the cost of client acquisition, and reduces the friction to opening a wealth account if it can be done from the same app. So the bank customers never need to leave their ecosystem. It's another reason why I see InvestNet buying Harvest and wanting that, because it gives them that plug-in to the bank's apps. So they've already got the integration. Lots of banks have trust charters, and back to the cost limitations, they want to open an agency account, they have to operate inside of the trust accounting system. And in the past, there weren't a lot of APIs. So Harvest has been there when the APIs are being built on the trust side and has connections to them, I believe. Mobile, as I said, mobile banking has tremendous penetration. So that's something that Harvest can provide. And they've built their APIs natively. And it's a critical component of the end investor experience that I believe that InvestNet will like to capture. They want to push more into the end investor experience for their tools and technology. Another aspect of this is small account solutions. So just like on the wealth side, the banks have trouble retaining deposits from lower end clients with money going to Vanguard and Fidelity, BlackRock, Schwab, etc. So how do they offer a solution that could plug into the Acorns-like solution, the micro savings, that they could then plug that in and offer bank customers the ability to open wealth accounts with small amounts, and also small trusts. If the trust accounting platform could be run cheaper, they could offer smaller minimums for trust clients and give them shield them from taxes and allow them better for distribution of assets to their heirs, or allowing retail customers to open up small accounts with systematic deposits. Banks want to make money off retail accounts. They want to convert deposits to wealth management. They see the higher revenues, the higher basis points they can get on the wealth management side. So they would love to be able to do that. They just need a way to do it that's integrated into the rest of their environment. Why? Because banks also are under pressure for new sources of revenue outside of lending. As they lose deposits, they lose net interest margin on lending deals. Bigger banks have other ways to make money, whether it's debit cards, credit cards, but everyone else, a lot of the smaller banks might be having trouble in that they're struggling in retail banking. So InvestNet being able to offer this solution that crosses over from the wealth management side where they've had success over to the banking side could be another revenue stream for InvestNet. Let's see what else I have here on my notes on this deal. So InvestNet does not have a trust accounting platform. They just interface with them, which has been good enough up until now. I've always wondered why InvestNet didn't buy an existing trust accounting platform like SS&C. Last year bought Innovest for $100 million, which gave them a foothold into the trust accounting business. We helped Pershing back in the day, 10 years ago, when they were doing the Citigroup deal, connect APL to Trust 3000 to display DVP, RVP data on the managed account side. That way advisors could see everything in one place. But it wasn't a trust solution. It was just an interface to pull the trust data from Trust 3000 into APL. That way the advisors could see it in one place. But if you owned both systems, you own the agency managed account portfolio accounting system, and you own the trust system that would give you a lot more power, but apparently Envestnet isn't doing it at the moment. So they're not going up head to head with firms like SCI or FIS. They're just being an integration partner with them. And that's about it. So that's my take on this deal. I see it as a big win for Envestnet. I'm looking for them to do a lot more integration, a lot more building out their trust ecosystem, especially with their trust exchange, which they just announced, that will offer services and connection to resources for advisors that maybe don't have the trust experience inside their firm. So the trust exchange will give access to lawyers and estate planners and other tools for advisors who can then access that, and hopefully at a discount and at scale. They can then plug in their new acquisition of Apprise Labs, which provides estate planning tools, and then finally plug it into the Harvest Wealth New York Grand Opening, and you've got a nice little ecosystem on the trust side for Envestnet. So I'm looking to see what comes from that, and this is my take on this particular deal. Our next story is Snappy Kraken raises $6 million. Snappy Kraken is an automated growth program for financial advisors, closed a $6 million Series A financing round led by FinTop Capital. The round was joined by Flyover Capital and 1248 Holdings, both of which participated previously in a 2019 seed round. We like Snappy Kraken here at Ezra Group. Great company, innovative, really killing it in the automated marketing space for financial advisors. According to their press release, they've hit 3,000 advisors as clients, which is tremendous growth for a firm in a very crowded space. Not only is the financial advisor marketing space crowded, but just the MarTech space is hugely crowded. I think I saw a map of icons for MarTech firms, and there were seriously 3,000 icons on this one page. So that's how many different marketing technology companies are out there. So to get some traction, to get recognition is very difficult. And Snappy Kraken and their CEO, Robert Sophia, have managed to do that. They've got a great board. Marty Bicknell from Mariner Wealth Advisors, Aaron Klein from Riskalyze, both on the board. And I'm sure that helps out. It helps them with direction, with strategy. And they're raising money to serve advisors better, build up their software platform, which we think is unique. We've done a fair amount of research here at Ezra Group in our research division on the marketing automation sector. And Snappy Kraken usually comes out ahead with things like their multi-step campaigns organized by goals, online advertising, their campaigns, dedicated marketing coach. Their territory exclusivity was a unique feature, which I know some people thought was silly, but it has turned out to be very good for business and has created some scarcity in their product for advisors who will call, and fight to get their territory, because once they sell it, they're not selling it again. So for the advisors we speak to, they really like the Snappy Kraken campaigns and how it is a multi-level, omni-channel, an omni-channel package of content that is built and handed to you. So it's easy. It's the easy button for marketing, and the software does a great job of automating it and tracking it. They've got a lot of statistics. If you go into their website, snappykraken.com, I love the new website, by the way, guys. It really looks great. It's unique. Well, and that's what it takes when you're a marketing firm. You better have a unique looking website that draws you in. So we've always liked their technology. All the demos we've gotten, we've always been impressed with how the technology works and how it's coordinated across social media and email and other content, and it's just plug and play. Really good stuff. And looking at some of the statistics, one of the things that advisors continue to struggle with is marketing. I think at least 40% of advisors report they can't find the time, they can't find the right people, they have trouble developing a digital marketing strategy. And when they do, they have trouble evaluating the marketing ROI. So handing it over to Snappy Kraken, it's one stop, everything gets done for them. It's the easy button, and advisors seem to love it. I believe that they're looking to expand their Another interesting part of this story is they believe their annual revenue could range from 6 million to 16 million, which again is a great increase from where they were. And given a multiple of 6 to 9 times earnings or revenue, their latest funding round values the firm between roughly 34 million and 145 million. Nice. Congrats to Rob and Sophia and the Snappy Kraken team on this, and can't wait to see what they've got coming up next. Hey, it's Craig. I want to take a quick break from this episode to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Sebastian Strong is a 501c3 nonprofit whose goal is to raise awareness about childhood cancer and fund research for less toxic, more targeted treatments and cures. The charity was founded in 2017 by the parents of 16-year-old Sebastian Ortiz after he lost his year-long battle with a rare form of childhood sarcoma. Sebastian Strong focuses on funding innovative research that has the potential to revolutionize cancer treatment for children. Cancer is the #1 cause of death by disease among children, yet less than 4% of the National Cancer Institute's budget is allocated to childhood cancer. Sebastian Strong is partnered with leading cancer research institutions around the country and actively collaborates with other childhood cancer foundations that support their one key belief that kids deserve better treatments, better outcomes, and better lives. Please help the Sebastian Strong Foundation to continue their mission by making a donation, spreading the word about beating childhood cancer, or getting involved. You can do that by visiting their website at sebastianstrong.org. That's Sebastian, SEBASTIAN, STRONG.org. You can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter at SebsStrong, that's SEBSSTRONG, or on Facebook at Sebastian Strong. Next up is Science launches advisor transitions tool. We talked about Science last month's news, an up-and-coming platform, now branded as a wealth management platform. We always thought of them as a new account opening product, but they have since expanded their software offerings. Fast and furious, they're building out their team and building out their technology at quite a pace. I remember seeing them a couple of years ago, and they were just in the account opening process sitting on top of Salesforce. They've certainly built out a lot of tech since then. This is their latest product in a stream of new products, transition tools. So this is designed to move a book of business over from another broker-dealer or RIA for onboarding advisors. Really helpful. Automates a lot of manual processes. Most broker-dealers and RIAs do this manually using spreadsheets, pass back and forth to pull data in. Relatively inefficient, could take weeks or months to move the data, especially for larger books of business. So this software does have a lot of runway to help firms scale, especially larger ones. There are a number of competitors in the space, so Science is certainly not the first to offer this software. A company called Truelytics. If you haven't heard of them, you should look them up. TRUELYTICS. They offer recruiting, succession planning, practice management, and business valuation. Really interesting way they do that. And they have advisor transition software. And the leader in the space would be DocuPace. You should take a look at them. DocuPace with advisor transitions, as well as new account opening, workflow, and document management. So Sky's not the first, obviously, but they're playing catch up. They would want to get into this market. They see it as being lucrative, as more and more broker dealers and all large RIAs are looking to scale better, looking to improve efficiency, cut some of the manual processes. The use cases are very valuable. When we do our evaluations of broker dealers or large RIAs, the use cases involving new account opening and onboarding, advisor transitions is always a relatively high use case, especially for the firms that are growing quickly, since they're usually pulling advisors from other firms. So having some automation around the onboarding of advisors or advisor transitions or repapering of clients is important. And also, so broker dealers are especially hybrid RIAs, where you may have to enter your data into two systems, which could become a big issue. Of course, it's got to be integrated with whatever your signing technology, e-sign technology, which is usually DocuSign, bulking up the custodial paperwork and contract creation for the advisor book of business. One of the nice things about Science is they are built on top of Salesforce. So enterprise firms mostly use Salesforce, which is a nice thing for Skynes to have. And they're also integrated to the CRM very tightly, which is important for the advisor transitions because they can move the data easily into Salesforce because they're already into the database. They don't have to do an import or export of data; they're already there. That helps a bit. Let's see, I said they're behind the curve a bit. They're launching this product soon. It's in white label. It's in an open pilot in April. It's still April. So the Skyence Advisor Transition product is still in open pilot as far as we know. So hopefully to be launched soon. Skyence wants to license the platform to broker dealers and custodians. Makes a lot of sense. Although we do know that broker dealers and custodians have a lot of manual processes around this, but they may see it as a companion tool, not a replacement. So they may still want to have their dedicated transition teams, as every broker dealer does, and every RIA custodian has it, where they help the advisors move over, help them with paperwork, transferring registration, tech support, any kind of bugs or glitches in the account moving. They have people to do the work. And even if it's software, the software isn't automated totally. You still need people to run the software. The advisor transition software needs a person to run it. Although it should, in theory, be way fewer people than a dedicated transition team at a broker dealer, as an example. So again, they have said at Skynes that this particular technology is not Salesforce specific. It's CRM agnostic, as Mark Butler, the new president, has said. Although, who are we kidding? They live in Salesforce. That's their main system. That's going to be the first offering and the primary offering. Why someone would use it in another CRM, I don't know, unless without that tight integration, you're losing a lot of benefit. But this seems like a great product. Looking forward to seeing it launched on the market. Okay, I've been giving the cut sign that I need to wrap this up. So I'm going to go run through 3 more stories really quickly. I just wanted to squeeze them in on this news roundup. So first, Ethic raises $29 million. What is Ethic? Ethic is a direct indexing ESG platform, SMA manager, asset management platform for financial advisors to build custom portfolios for clients. They raised a $29 million Series B round of funding, bringing to a total of more than $48 million and valuing the company at $139 million. ESG is hot. Global ESG inflows shot up 88% in the fourth quarter of 2020 to 150 billion. Again, that's global assets, not the U.S. So, got to temper that number with just looking at the U.S. assets. There's a number of other players in this space, including Orion, Open Invest, Just Invest, and Canvas, which manages $1 billion. So it's not definitely getting more crowded. And the technology is expanding. I know InvestNet also has some DI, whether they have algorithmic DI tools that they're offering through their PMC platform. So lots of options here. And really, investors or advisors are swamped with choices. They can leverage their tech platforms, whether it's Tamarack, Black Diamond, Orion, Morningstar, or something else, and access different SMA managers, including ESG managers of all different shapes and sizes. Again, Tamarack and InvestNet own PMC, their own asset manager. They're a TAMP. Black Diamond partners with SmartX, which is a UMA rebalancing and trading platform. Orion owns FTJ and Brinker, and they've also got their own direct indexing product. Morningstar does not have a direct indexing product yet, but they have a model marketplace, so they can certainly launch some sort of direct indexing solution as well. So lots of ways for advisors to get direct indexing. I'm sure there's plenty of room for Ethic to continue to grow, even with all of the competitors, just because of the size of the RIA space. It's just tremendous when you've got 17,000 SEC registered RIAs out there, lots of money sloshing around that these guys can try to pick up. So what's another quote here? The research has shown 42% of advisors expect to increase their use of ESG in the next 2 years. That'll be good. I would believe that number seems pretty reasonable. The one thing I think might be an issue, Ethic charges clients between 28 bips and 35 bips for its fund. That seems high for a direct indexing fund rather than an actively managed SMA. So I would look for that number to get a little pressured. as more competitors come out to the space and offer more solutions. But hopefully they'll be able to keep going and make their investors give them a good return. The next story, let me just close out my Ethic windows here, is Wealthfront self-driving money launch. So we all know Wealthfront, one of the original robo-advisors, and they have been in a battle to be relevant, really, and be more than just an online RIA, which they have been trying very hard to do. And the self-driving money could be it. Wealthfront did launch their own banking. They realized they needed to get into that space, and they have a cash account. So they're looking to offer this self-driving money where basically, if you have money, you have enough cash to put in a couple different accounts, you can move it around automatically. You have your direct deposit, which all of these companies are just dying for. Getting direct deposit is like the golden or the brass ring of a lot of these robo bank and challenger banks, because once you get direct deposit, you own the client. It's hard to switch. There's a lot of inertia for clients to switch their direct deposits. Once you have that, you pretty much have the client for a long time, or it's much lower churn on clients that have direct deposit. So once you get direct deposit into your Wealthfront cash account, you can set up some sort of automated money movement every month to cover your bills, to cover spending, to put a little bit into an emergency fund, to move some to long-term investing. They have a cash sweep designed to move money over a certain amount in different accounts around, never from savings to checking, or checking to savings, or savings to investing. It all could work well, again, if you've got enough money. And we all know that most Americans don't. They can't even afford a $400 emergency expense. So a lot of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So not sure how many people will want to use this or understand how it works and understand the value of moving money around like this. But hopefully it's a lot of education. Hopefully Wealthfront's got the education part covered, and we'll be able to slowly build up the number of clients who are using this and accessing it, and it makes it stickier. It makes Wealthfront stickier. It's a unique service. I know Betterment has some sort of sweep function, but it's not as complex as this, not as functional as this. This seems cool to me, but I'd like to see what the uptake is if enough Wealthfront customers actually use it to make it worthwhile. Third story, Luma partners with Canex to offer annuity data tool. Well, that's a complicated storyline. Hold on, let me get this stuff closed here. And what is Luma? Luma is a platform. It started out as a structured note platform for advisors to purchase structured notes and structured note providers to offer them in a sort of a marketplace. There's a number of these online marketplaces. Luma is one. It's Luma Financial, Luma. Another one is Halo Investing, Halo. And the third one is Simon, just Simon.io. And they all offer structured investments, things like buffered ETFs, other very complex solutions which most broker dealers won't touch, but some advisors see it as a big advantage for them, especially with higher net worth clients. And these platforms allow advisors to get in on some things that they were having to buy through middlemen. So now they give a direct access to the marketplace, and these platforms have really taken off. And Luma is now offering annuities, which they hadn't offered before, although their competitors did, I believe Halo and Simon both offer annuities, although Halo says new, so that might just be a recent addition. But now all three, I guess Luma felt the pressure to offer annuities as well. And we are seeing, I know my firm, Ezra Group, we're seeing interest from firms in launching new annuities products, but mainly tech-based annuities, either annuities that are built into something, annuities that are wrapped in something, technology that can offer more advice to clients about what annuities they should buy and how they can improve their use of annuities. Getting a lot of feedback on that, a lot of input from firms asking us for help. So we're seeing a lot of this coming down the pike, and these marketplaces, I think, are going to get a lot of uptake as more advisors start getting into annuities. The InvestNet insurance exchange is really pushing the ability for advisors to look across different annuity providers and make decisions inside a platform and never having to leave. So that's giving more advisors the understanding of how to do this. Firms like DPL and Retire One offering advisors who don't have insurance licenses the ability to buy insurance. So lots of different ways for advisors to get into the insurance market. It's really expanding well, and we're seeing a lot of movement there.
Hey, it's Craig again. That's the end of our May news roundup. It was difficult to pick the 5 stories that it covered, but I thought these were a good mix and gave you a good idea of what was going on in the industry over the past month. We'll have more again next month. If you have any ideas for stories you'd like us to cover, please shoot me an email or reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. And before we go, please remember to go to our website, EzraGroupLLC.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. You will get every month a roundup of industry content, stories, ideas, recommendations from me and the team, and you will enjoy it. You won't be disappointed. And until next time, see you all soon.